Welcome to the Food Club show. We're at the Nottingham Street Food Club, and today I'm going to be chatting to Jack Bateson, the super bantamweight professional boxer. We're going to order some food from the Secret Burger Club. I hope you enjoy this episode. Let's eat. We'll go for the West Coast.
I'm going to rely on your instinct and get the same, bro.
You're going to get the same?
I'm going to get the same.
Right then. Can we get 2 West Coasts and some plain fries, please? How many calories are you taking in?
At the minute,
I think I'm at about like 1700 a day.
I'd say I'm about, yeah, similar to that, maybe about 2,000.
Yeah.
Whereas before I got a nutritionist on board, I was doing something like 1,200 to 1,000. Especially,
Really?
and when I was training hard as well, and I just didn't have the energy. So now I've realised like how important it is to get that fuel, and I'm training harder for longer, so I'm burning more anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it works out.
That's crazy that you were training on 1,000.
Yeah, I was doing.
You must have been hungry all the time.
I got to a point where the last 2 weeks of camp I was no carbs at all, and that was like my hardest 2 weeks, and there was no energy in the tank at all. And I find now I'm eating more carbs on the final week than what I am 6 weeks before, you know what I mean? And I'm losing more weight.
And when did this nutritionist come on board? When did you get? Is it a guy or a girl?
Yeah, it's a guy, David Stash. I got him on board 2 fights ago, and ever since, mate, like my performance in training on the night has come on so much. Like my dad's buzzing, my uncle's buzzing, so yeah, it's all going well, mate. Like little things you don't think of, just percentages, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just
getting percentages right. And
when you get to how long have you been boxing now?
Since I was 9, so
yeah,
all
so
my
I'm the
life.
same. So gym, since I was 7. So now I'm at that kind of just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Just trying to put those little things in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Each percentage counts, and I think we're still learning. You know what I mean? We've done it all our lives, and we're still learning.
Yeah.
Like if I've only 2 fights ago, not even a year ago, then I've got this nutritionist on board. Like how much it's changed. If I'd have done that a long time ago, you never know. You know what I mean? But,
how hard do you find it cutting down? How much do you go up between the fights?
It's usually about a stone.
Right.
So at the minute I walk around at about 9'8", 9'9". I'm fighting in 4 weeks on Friday at 9 stone, and then I've got the big title fight in October, which is 9 weeks on Saturday, which is 8'10". So I'll just bring it down slowly, sort of like £2 a week, you know what I mean? But
have you ever done a cut where you've found it really hard so far?
Not yet, but I've always had good notice. Obviously, with my dad on board and as my manager, I get plenty of notice for my fights. And I've got this nutritionist on board now. And yeah, the last cut might be £2 or £3, you know, in a hot bath or whatever. But that's when you're making the title weight limit. You bring yourself down as low as you can. You know what I mean? And then by the time I've got my water back in, before I've even had any food, I'm up about £6-7.
Really?
So. It's mad, it's a science.
So is that what you use? You use a hot bath, or do you use a sauna?
I don't like saunas, I just get a hot bath, 10-minute hot bath. Minimise the amount of time that you're dehydrated, so maybe half an hour before the weigh-in. Go to the weigh-in. As soon as I've got on the scales, boom, straight back in. So the waters are straight back in, and I could be 8 stone 10 without any food. 2 hours later, just with water, be 9'3", so I could have put on £7. So it just shows.
And do you proper feast once you've weighed in?
I used to.
Right.
I used to, I'd have my first weigh-in as a pro. I get on the scales and I went straight to Nando's, at the same time as but now you've got a 2 hour limit where you get the water and get the fluids in, the body's got to absorb them, which I wouldn't have had a clue about if I wasn't for this nutritionist, David. And then you have 3 or 4 meals that day, that night. Just slowly get them in, you know what I mean? The body just slowly takes it, rather than cramming it all in and the next minute you're feeling.
And then your body's got to break it down.
Yeah. And I've done that before and I've felt awful on the night, so got it right now.
So mate, let's talk about the last fight. being on the Warrington Galahad undercard, that must have felt like a big step up.
Yeah, it was big. I mean, I fought on his cards before and stuff, but obviously this was an 8-rounder. It was high up on the card.
TV.
Yeah, exactly, and like, it was a bit of pressure and stuff, you know what I mean? But I enjoyed it, and like, they're the sort of nights that are going to prepare me for the big time. So I enjoyed it.
Did you change anything going into it? Was the camp different? I know now, like, as you're getting further along, is your team kind of expanding a little bit, getting a little bit bigger?
It did before that fight. I got the nutritionist on board, I had my physios on board, and you know, I set up a group, and everything was a lot sort of tight knit. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone always knew what was going on. I just felt like I ticked a lot more percentages for that fight, and I feel now I've got the team that I need. We're all working together, and we've all got the same vision and goal, and it's exciting looking forward to the future, you know, and we're all motivating each other, so it's good.
What's it like on a fight night like that? Like, because I came to watch you at the back end of last year.
Yeah.
Are all the fighters like in the set? You've got your own changing room, or is everyone in the same kind of like holding?
Yeah, so
place?
At the arena they've got a bit more. They've got a bit more space, obviously. So there's probably about 3 or 4 fighters in the changing room, whereas the one where you came to at Ellen Road, in the pavilion, like, we're all in the same changing room. All the home fighters are in the same changing room, and the away fighters are in. And I'm lucky because I'm on later, because then someone will fight and then they'll leave.
Right,
okay,
so it gets quieter.
leave. But sometimes you can get people coming in there that you don't really want in there, you know what I mean? But
right, okay.
I just try vision off, you know, focus on.
Do you get a lot of like people's friends and that, and family coming in?
Yeah,
during that
because
time? Really?
yeah, because like, say someone just won, then
right. Oh, okay, and then they come in afterwards to celebrate.
They're riding the buzz, but you haven't been in yet, you know what I mean?
What's that like? What kind of headspace do you get into at that point? Are you quite a quiet person before a fight? Or
yeah, I am.
Just trying to get yourself like
yeah.
amped up?
I'm quite serious and that. I'm quite. Some people are just joking, laughing, and I'm quite serious. Like, sometimes someone will try to have a chat with me, and then I'll think about it later, and I'll be like, oh, I hope I didn't come across rude. You know what I mean?
Rude,
yeah.
No, I'm quite similar to that. Yeah.
And I'll overthink it sometimes, but everyone's different now. Like you say, you're probably similar, and I think we just take our sports very seriously. You know what I mean? And
well, it means a lot, doesn't it?
it does.
Like
it
you
does,
said, that was a step towards the next step.
Yeah, exactly. Like, each fight is a hurdle. Like, for you, each competition is a hurdle, and say you miss or lose, then it knocks you back, doesn't it? So no one wants that knockback. You just want to keep going. So
does that play on your mind a lot? Like the fear of losing, is that there?
It does
like,
a bit, yeah.
In boxing, more so than MMA, like having a perfect record, it's almost become this thing. Like, you've got to have a perfect record.
It's the Mayweather effect, isn't it? You know, he's done that 50-0 thing, and now everyone watching him is thinking they need to be undefeated, and I don't believe in that, but it's true. Like, I think even for the fact of selling tickets and fans, like,
gives you more leverage.
Of course it does, yeah. It's people think, oh, he's been beat or whatever. Like, everyone wants to be unbeaten, but as long as I perform to the best of my ability, if the man in front of me beats me, like, better man on the day, like, I'll come again. But as long as I've performed to the best of my ability, that's all.
Walk away happy. Then,
exactly. Yeah.
Like, you did everything.
Yeah.
What in terms of like your training and stuff now, where are you at right now? Because you got a fight coming up.
Yeah.
So that's on the 6th of September, right?
So I'm fighting on the 6th of September in a 6-rounder. That's on my dad's show. Back at Ellen Road. That's like the home ground for me. That, and that was scheduled, and then obviously this opportunity's come up now. I'm fighting for the English title in October, which is my first title as a pro. It's my first real step up. It's a 10-rounder. Never been 10 rounds before. I've done 8 rounds. Did it comfortable. I'm fighting a good fighter called Michael Ramabaleza from Manchester. He had his pro debut in 2008. Like, he's been pro a long time. He's experienced, but it's time to take that step now. And I've had a lot of experience in the amateurs, a lot of experience in the pros now. I think by that time I'll have had 11 fights, and I'm ready. And you know, it's the first of many titles, hopefully. I mean,
it's very exciting, mate.
It is exciting.
It must feel like, because all of these past few years, kind of since, how long have you been pro now?
not even 2 years, just short of 2 years.
So since then, you've been building to kind of this step. This is like that next big step.
Yeah.
Does it ever? Are you at the point where it's like, oh, everything I've wanted, it's kind of now.
It's coming.
It's happening as it's going along. Like I've been working to get back to the stage I'm at, and now we've just gone over the 1 year to Tokyo mark. So it's like, this is it now.
It's
like,
coming now.
Is that daunting? Does it excite you?
It's exciting, a bit of both. It's a bit surreal.
It's a bit of pressure in it.
Yeah.
The pressure you put on yourself.
It is, yeah. It is. Like this is why we started. You know what I mean? Like Tokyo, that's your goal now. You know what I mean? Like, and when it comes round next year, like for me now, title fights. I've dreamt of them since I was a kid, and then this fight got announced yesterday, the Warrington fight, and then underneath it, you know. Bateson versus Bateson, and it's just a bit surreal, you know, seeing yourself on a poster, you know what I mean, like English super bantamweight title, and it's good because, you know, I'm getting a bit of recognition now, you know, like people messaging me. I'm lucky to be from Leeds, you know.
I've chatted to some people, and they recognise your name, and know who you are and stuff. What was it like, that like press conference, just the whole experience of that week building up to like the Warrington fight, just because it would have been on a bigger scale than you've had like before? Being part of that, like, is it different? Is it straight? Is it what you imagined it would be?
Yeah, it is
that
different.
Fight week kind of thing.
It is different. I mean, I think if you let it can be stressful.
Right.
But that's only if you overthink it. Like the thing is, you come up, the cameras are there, you're getting interviewed. But we've had a lot of experience with that, you know, with Sky scholarships and stuff like that, which has helped me massively. I don't know about you, but like,
100%,
I'd have been struggling if it weren't for that. And it just seems to all happen. Each day there's something, like there's press conference and there's weigh-in, and it's like you feel like once they're done and the weigh-in's done, like then you can focus on the fight.
Right, okay.
You're focusing on the weigh-in, you're focusing on the press conference. Like obviously once the training's done, then it's fight night. Then you know it's time to zone out.
Are you doing a lot of training around all of that stuff in that fight week, or is it fight week? It's just like fine tuning.
Fine tuning, like the week, probably about a week before the hard work's done, and you've still got to stay mentally switched on, but then it's just fine tuning really, a bit of weight making, but you ain't gonna get any fitter.
What kind of training are you doing in that week? Like
on the week,
just pad work.
Pad work mainly, like all your sparring's and stuff. And like mainly pad work. I'm going through the strategy and the tactics that you're gonna do on fight night. Obviously, I get the heart going, I get the lungs going, just to open him up, and just basically talking about what I'm gonna do on the night. Practice.
So when it comes to like picking like a sparring partner, who does that kind of stuff for you?
That's my dad and my uncle. Right. Mainly my dad, to be honest. But we will try replicate, you know, who we're going to be coming up against. So it's nice to have this, you know, 10 weeks notice now for the English title fight.
So you can take some time to like find
find some sparring partners. Maybe watch some videos, work out a game plan, but. It's a lot easier than, you know, say your first few fights as a pro where you don't know till a week before and you've never seen no footage or nothing. You could get in there, they could be southpaw, orthodox, and they might be a bit negative because they've come to survive or get through it, you know, so they can fight another day rather than someone coming to win. You know what I mean? So it is exciting. Like I'm looking forward to being in a proper fight, and where better to do it than in my hometown.
What do you think to boxing just in general at the minute? Because it's getting a lot of like media coverage. I think it went through that period where there wasn't as much interest. And now with the heavyweight division, like, what did you think to the Joshua fight? Was you surprised, or did you kind of see that coming?
No, I was surprised. I was very surprised. I mean, I never doubt Joshua, and like I didn't even actually watch the fight live because it was just silly time, you know, on a night. And, I got a text. Good, yeah. And so I got a text in the morning saying, "Oh, have you seen the news?" You know what I mean? And I knew straight away. I thought, you know, he's lost. He didn't look himself. I'll be honest. I think if we fight again, he wins. But
do you ever hear anything? Do you ever hear anything? Because you're in like the boxing kind of circle. Do you ever hear anything? Because there was loads of rumours going around.
Yeah, there was loads.
But do you ever hear anything?
I was hearing those same rumours.
Right. In boxing circles.
In the boxing circle, I mean. But you don't know what to believe, like.
Because I can remember, I woke up, looked at my phone, and went, oh fuck! But then I wasn't that surprised. I don't know why. I was like, I was shocked.
I think in the heavyweight game,
just like,
more than any, in boxing in general, like it takes one punch. It takes. In the heavyweight game, it does take one punch, and like, look at the greats, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, they've all been beat. Like for Joshua to go all that way, unbeaten, like it's unheard of. And you know what? He might come back hungrier, and like, listen, he had everything going for it. Like, he's like a sponsor's dream, you know.
Yeah, the pressure he must have been under, man.
It's serious pressure, like for him to deal with it. And that guy can fight, man. He can fight. That Ruiz, like, I think.
Do you think he underestimated it? Do you think it was more the fact that it was like a late kind of like...
I do think he slightly underestimated him.
Yeah. But I can't ever... People say this, but I can't ever imagine like an athlete doing that. Do you know what I mean?
He's the ultimate professional. He won't have underestimated him, but I think in the back of his mind, he'll have thought, oh, I'll beat this guy, you know what I mean?
He maybe didn't prepare specifically for him, did he? So.
And to be honest, I underestimated him. I saw this guy. I saw he was like... I thought he was going to be slow. He was fast. He was strong, like, and then I'm hearing stories about his amateur background. Like, this was after the fight because this all didn't come out till everyone knew who he was. You know, he'd done the job, and the next minute I'm hearing, oh, he had 105 amateur fights. He lost like 4. He won the Youth Olympics, and I'm like, oh, so he's
pretty good.
He's got a good background. And then I've checked him out. He's on Box Rec as his pro record, and his record was great, and his knockout ratio was great, and he lost to Joseph Parker, which apparently was a robbery.
Right.
And I'm thinking, like...
So then is that someone, do you think, on like Joshua's side not doing their like research, or just literally just needed someone...
I think they just needed an opponent.
You got to fill that spot.
But he was looking at it now, like...
It was kind of a recipe for a disaster situation.
Let's be honest,
he's got nothing to lose, has he, this guy?
And every average fan, every average, you know, boxing person or people that watch boxing, they're going to see this guy, and he's fat, he's out of shape. Well, out of shape, like he's not out of shape, but he looks out of shape. He's not your typical heavyweight boxer, you know, superstar, but he can fight. Like, so as soon as these guys have seen him, they're like, oh, this guy stepped in, Ruiz, and they've looked at this picture of a fat guy, you know, sponsored by Snickers. You know what I mean? They're gonna automatically think one thing, like, oh, walk over. So it was a big shock for everyone, but you know, can't judge a book by its cover.
What do you think happens in the rematch? Do you think Joshua comes in and beats him?
I think Joshua beats him.
Right.
But it's going to be tough. Like, the guy's fast, he's strong, but Josh just needs to get this right.
Yeah.
I feel for his sake, he needs to go back to America and go back to where the crime happened, like, and rewrite history. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if he does it back in Wembley or Cardiff, I feel it's a bit unfair because he's the champ. You know what I mean? Go back to where it happened.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like for him,
because they're trying to put it on neutral ground,
exactly. Yeah, but Cardiff's not neutral. This morning. Cardiff's not neutral ground. Like, America's neutral ground.
So
like,
you think rematch Joshua's got it?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be tough.
Fight,
you know what I mean? It's going to be very tough. It was strange the way the fight ended. Like, I think I've heard a story that Joshua thought he was getting his gum shield put back in.
Right. Yeah.
And watching it back,
kind of watch that.
You can sort of see it.
But he does look out of it.
But he does look out of it. He didn't look focused before. I feel like something went wrong.
Yeah.
I know he says it didn't, but you know he's got that fighter's heart, and you know what I mean. He's gonna take full responsibility, and you know.
It's exciting though. It's exciting for the sport.
Really
obviously,
exciting.
you guys, it must be great for you guys because you think, look, more eyes on the sport, more eyes on boxing.
It stirs it up a little bit, doesn't it?
Like
people
in the future,
get bored of
in the future you could be moving up onto an undercard with like some guys like that.
Exactly.
Fighting at Wembley, like that's. You can see it going that direction, can't you? So that must be exciting for you as well.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Then the other fight I wanted to ask you about is the Luke Campbell-Lomachenko fight.
Lomachenko, you'd be silly to obviously bet against, but
is he one of the guys you kind of do you watch a lot of boxing? Are you like a scholar of the sport?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Or do you not? Or are you one of those guys that kind of like when you're not in
I try when
the
I'm
gym, you don't want to be.
When I'm not in the gym, I do try turn away from it.
Right.
I do like to on the weekend watch the boxing, and I can appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, and Lomachenko, some of the stuff he does, like you can try replicate it, but it's hard to do. You know what I mean? Like, he is the ultimate. But Campbell has got that style. He's got the amateur pedigree to give him problems.
Right,
so it'll be interesting to see how he goes against Campbell because it's a totally different fight to what he's been in before. And
amazing
both Olympic gold
Campbell
medalists.
well.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's massive, and I'm
Amazing
so happy for him because he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And this is his chance, you know what I mean, to write history.
Who are your idols, like boxing? Like right now? So one of the guys I love at the minute.
Active idols.
Yeah. One of the guys I love at the minute who's super motivating is Adam Peaty.
Okay.
Swimmer. I think he's just really cool. Like everything he stands for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously
because he's from a different sport.
And
he's a lot younger than me as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So.
No, I like that.
Yeah. He's super motivating, and a lot of fighters as well.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with MMA. But like, who are the guys that like you actively like you look up to, and you can get a bit of inspiration, motivation from them?
In terms of like boxing styles and stuff, I look at the likes of Jorge Linares and but to be honest, I just try to take a little bit from everyone. But like you say, even the attitude of some athletes, like you can hear people talk about stuff like we were having a chat earlier, and you can take advice from everyone.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, there's no one in particular really that I can think of off the top of my head, but no, I try to pick things up off everyone.
When you were growing up, it was like the people you kind of like you watched the most on TV or
fighters wise or
anything really. Did you ever have was it like Mike Tyson?
Not really, you know. I liked watching Roy Jones. Yeah. Roy Jones was always like.
I guess for you, ultimate people that would fight at your weight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But Roy Jones, he was like a super middleweight. Yeah. But before I used to go to my fights as a kid, I'd watch a video of him and it'd get me in the mood. You know what I mean? But like, it's my sort of. Interest in fighters changes all the time, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, certain things they do, I can heard a few stories about Linares not long back, and it sort of put me off a bit, you know, from the way he acts outside.
Really?
Apparently, like in terms of how he lives his lifestyle.
Right. Okay.
And as a fighter, he's amazing, but it just makes me think like, he doesn't live the life a little bit, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But he can still fight. Imagine if he did live the life as well.
But
you know what I mean?
also, there's that argument: if he lived a different way, he might not be the same fighter. You know?
Exactly that.
So you must have seen in boxing, some of the most talented guys are like absolute.
So
they're just wild, and But maybe if they change, that kind of makes them what there is. So it's
that's
hard.
What I'm saying. I know fighters that when they're in the gym, they're fully focused, and they would only be like that because when they're out the gym, they're not focused at all. You know what I mean? But that's what makes them. It kicks them up the arse a bit. Whereas sometimes I can find, like, you could be in the gym all the time, but it burns you out, and like you could just be like moving at this 50% pace all the time, rather than being out of the gym and being unfit, and then being in the gym and putting 100% in and grafting. A bit of a kick up the arse, like it works, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So it's experimenting, but I think.
So a ticket's on sale for this next fight.
Tickets on sale for the 6th September, my dad's show, and then obviously the big one at Leeds Arena.
How quick's that turnaround going to be after the next fight, and then getting back into camp for the?
It's going to be big. It's going to run straight through.
You're going to go straight through.
I'm going to go straight through.
No time off.
No. I mean, I think because I've got this. I'm using it as a bit of a workout. This fight. I mean, I can't underestimate anyone, and obviously my mind will be fully on the 6th September until that's out the way.
And would the result of this next fight ever affect that fight in October?
It could do. I mean, the person who I fight.
Is this the first time this must be the first time you've had a fight planned in advance before you've even had another fight. Stuff like that you don't really think about.
No, you don't.
When you're a casual fan, do you know what I mean?
But I feel like it'll be good preparation. You know, I'm getting it. It's almost like.
Because you can't replicate a fight.
No, you can't replicate a fight, and like, there's no better preparation. I like to be busy, you see.
Yeah.
And to get them rounds in, like proper rounds, and get that feel of fight night, just 5 weeks before, it's going to give me that advantage on the night. You know, a bit of less nerves, a bit less pressure, a bit more of a normal feeling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I think that's the main reason I'm doing it. But my mind is fully on that. But then obviously it's hard not to think about the big picture.
Mate, it's great. It's great, man. It's great to catch up. It's great to hear about everything.
No, it's great to catch up as always, bro.
you just said like it literally has just been announced, that new fight. I'm
Yep.
super excited for you, man.
Thank you.
Everyone can follow you on Instagram.
Yep.
Follow the journey in the lead up to the next 2 fights.
Thank you, son.
I want to try and get some tickets to the
Yeah,
fight in
definitely.
September if I can, mate.
Definitely,
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
mate.
But,
It'd be great to have you down
yeah,
again.
thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam. All the
Take
best,
it easy,
brother.
yeah?